If the algorithm fed this video to you, chances are you landed on Pep Talk and you were either curious on peptides or looking to start. So congratulations, you made it to the right place. No one's gonna hold your hand and walk you through any of this, so I will. My name's Ashley. I'm on a weight loss journey. I lost 28 lbs from biohacking. I started back in November on Sema. I hated it and switched to TRZ. She was amazing. And then now I'm on Retta because I am a gym girly and I like to lift weights, so I want to keep my muscle. I also researched with a few other peptides, but I'm not going to go into that because that's not what this video is about. There are just a few fundamentals you need to know as the base of your research before you dive into the rabbit hole, so let's go over them. First thing you need to know and understand is the most obvious. These are research chemicals and it's in the name. They are for research. They are not approved for human consumption unless under the guidance of a medical professional, and for the record, I am not that. But knowing that, when you go onto these sites to look at the product selection, you're gonna see those disclaimers. You're gonna see it on the site, on the vials, and there's a reason for that. They have to do that. Another big one is that these chemicals are not gonna come with instructions. They're gonna come in a freeze-dried powdered form called lyophilized. Those of you that have ordered GLP medications and are familiar with the telehealth experience, you're used to getting yours in a liquid, like already ready to go, because it's been compounded for you. You would have to do what's called reconstitute your research peptide with bacteriostatic water, aka BAC water. Now the next part is very important, so don't tune out, okay? You need to know the difference between milliliters and milligrams. A milliliter, ml, is a unit of volume used to measure liquid. So you would use milliliters when determining how much BAC water to reconstitute with. Now, in terms of DOSE, this is where you're going to use milligram, mg, or you might also be using microgram, mcg, in terms of how much you're going to put into that syringe for your test subject, because this is for research. Okay, so stay with me here. 1 milligram is equivalent to 1,000 micrograms. So that would mean that 0.5 or half of a milligram is equal to 500 milligrams, and so forth. 0.3 milligrams is going to be equal to 300 micrograms. Are you following? GLP medications are often dosed in units of milligrams, and then things like AOD, KPV, Semax, Selank, those type of peptides, those are used in microgram unit. It's important to know the difference. If you don't understand, if you are confused, and even if you aren't, you should be using a peptide calculator. I have a free peptide calculator in my link tree that is very user-friendly and very easy to use. You just put in how much you're trying to research with, what amount is in your vial, and how much BAC water was it reconstituted with, and it will literally show you a drawing of a syringe, and it will show you how many units would be the dose. You gotta do your own part in finding what your starting DOSE would be, because like I already mentioned, I'm not a medical professional and I don't know your situation. The most I can do is point you in the direction of the clinical studies research that I reference with. With that being said, another thing about these sites is their checkout might not be what you're used to. They might ask you to pay with Zelle, Bitcoin, or if they do take card, they might take you to a third-party site to finalize the transaction, and that's what they have to do, and there's a reason for that. If you found this information valuable, please feel free to like, save, share the video. Go ahead and give me a follow on Instagram under the same username. Check out my highlights. I have like tips and guidelines and charts on there. None of it's medical advice, but it's helpful information, and I am still growing that account, so I will be posting more and there's more to come. Last but not least, go ahead and check out my link tree for my trusted sources. Those are sites that I personally research with and I like their products. You can use my name Ashley for Modern Aminos or RCHQ to save 10% at your checkout, or you can use Alpha Omega Peptides, same code Ashley, to save 15%, and with Alpha Omega, orders placed before 4 p.m. will be shipped out the same day with FedEx. And that's all I have for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the lab.